What have you been told about Florida Week?
Just that, this is a huge game, not just for us, but the fan base.
What have other teammates shared with you about it, though?
Teammate what?
Your teammates, what have they shared with you?
Oh, we're all amped up. It's not just Florida, but the first SEC game, and it's at home, so our family get to watch us go out of battle.
I guess are games like this kind of why you came to a place like Tennessee to get to kind of play in rivalries and games like this?
Yeah, definitely, especially it being an SEC game. I'm from California, so, Pac-12, they take it serious, but I think the South takes football more serious. So, Florida versus Tennessee, I even watched that growing up in California.
Did you happen to watch last year's game?
I didn't. I did not.
What do you remember about watching Tennessee and Florida while you were in California?
Just that I could sense the energy going on in both stadiums. I could sense, the rivalries and all that stuff. So.
Did you watch it and say, hey, I'd like to play in that kind of game?
Yeah, definitely. Growing up, I was a USC fan, but I was also a Florida fan. So, me being able to play against them is just kind of a dream come true in some way.
So you were a Florida fan? Yeah, why were you a Florida?
Not just a Florida fan. I was more of a USC fan, but I always watched Florida. So.
Why did you watch Florida?
Just players that came through there, like Brennan Hargrave and stuff like that, Tim Tebow, Aaron Hernandez playing tight end. Just
walking around campus, do you notice a difference in the atmosphere as this being Florida Week versus the last couple of weeks, or has there been a change in that regard?
No, it's definitely been a change. As soon as we walked in here on Monday, it was all, let's get straight to it. UTEP is in the past, let's get straight to Florida. So, that's through the coaches, the students, and the players.
What's Jarrett been doing well?
He does everything well. I think where he's grown the most is actually becoming a leader. So,
how do you see that?
Just more of a vocal leader. He's really stepped up and played that role, and he's been doing a good job.
What catches your eye about Florida? I know they got a few non-offensive touchdowns this year, but what catches your eye when you look at them on tape?
Just Florida being Florida. They always got speed. They always got talented players. So we just got to go in there with our working hat and step to the challenge.
When's the time that you've really seen Jarrett grapple with that vocal leader role?
It started in the beginning, probably week one. I think they get him being the quarterback. They just wanted him to have that, just be more vocal. So I think he's really, bought into that, and he's really led us vocally.
3 weeks in, are you much more comfortable in this offense than you were maybe, a couple weeks in a fall camp?
Yeah, way more.
How so?
Just grasping the plays, actually doing the little things right and stuff like that. I would say that.
Are you more comfortable in the run game as opposed to the pass game? Is that where you feel like you've maybe grown the most? Is as a blocker the last 2 or 3 weeks?
In some way, I still have a lot to do. We all still have a lot to do. So, I can't really say.
How would you assess the offensive play against UTEP?
Me personally, I think we just could have went out and executed better. Penalties killed us. We could just win into that game a little better.
You feel like
it's all a learning experience. So if we don't go through that, then we won't be able to understand that and get better.
Was it kind of frustrating that you felt like you left a lot of points on the board?
In a way, yeah. But that's in the past. So I really don't. I'm focused on Florida right now. I really don't care about that.
Dom, you've obviously been a part of 2 home games. How do you expect the atmosphere of this one to be?
Players been telling me it's gonna be wild. So really, you just got to stay level-headed. You can't get too high. I think that players can tend to get rattled by a huge crowd. So I feel like you just got to stay calm and stay focused.
How much is the difference is the speed and everything at this level for you? I know that you're a guy who performed really well at JUCO the past couple of years, but just how much different is the speed from there to here?
It's somewhat of a difference. Surprisingly, I went to a JUCO where we had, like I told you guys earlier, a couple weeks ago, we had like 25 dudes go D1. So, practice was just like how practice is here now. Not necessarily the tempo, but when it comes to dudes running around and being physical, it was somewhat kind of the same.
Well, what about the opponents? Because y'all usually won. So, were the opponents, did you get to see some quality opposition there? Do you think?
In junior college?
Yes.
Other than the national championships, no, not really.
You guys do a lot of substituting with running backs, tight ends, wide receivers, a lot of guys in and out. What's that like? Is it tough to get in a rhythm? Does it keep you fresh, or what do you think about that?
Not really. I think it just keeps us fresh. Gives everybody an opportunity to go out there and help the team to win. So,
Can you talk about your relationship with Markel Bird?
Markel Bird, that was a good friend. We grew up together, played basketball together. He was like a big brother to me. Always stayed positive. That's really it.
How long have you been writing those words on your eye block for games?
Probably a couple of years. It used to be on my wristband because we weren't able to wear eye black in junior college. So I would always write his number 22 on my wristband.
Is there anything about his play that you try to bring to your own here?
Just that, that dog mentality, that hard work mentality, like nothing will stop him. And that's why he was such a good player.
Because you've seen, in I guess the past game overall, with Jawan kind of starting to look like himself again. Does he look like a different player than he did when he first came back?
Yeah, I mean, it's my first year with Jawan, so I knew who he was from obviously watching Tennessee and stuff, and I could tell that he's getting his groove back. Yeah, he's a great wide receiver.
Do you think Ty Chandler is the fastest guy on the team?
Who?
Ty Chandler.
Ty Chandler? I have no clue who's the fastest. I don't know. If you ask me, I'm gonna say myself.